Welcome back to Helper Dad. Today we're diving into how to use the Contentful API. Contentful is a headless CMS that offers flexible content modeling and delivery, and the Contentful API allows you to access this content programmatically. The purpose of this guide is to provide you with a clear path to interacting with the Contentful API. PI keys are essential for accessing Contentful content, and there are two main types: the Content Delivery API or CDA, and the Content Management API or CMA. The Content Delivery API provides read-only access for public content, requiring a space ID and a Content Delivery API access token, making it ideal for front-end applications displaying content. The Content Management API, on the other hand, offers full read and write access for content creation, modification, and deletion. This requires a space ID and a Content Management API access token, and should be used with caution, primarily for back-end processes. As a security note, the CMA token should never be exposed to the client side. To obtain these API keys, log into your Contentful account, navigate to your space, go to Settings, then API Keys, and create or use an existing API key, noting down the space ID and access token for the chosen API. Let's talk about installing the Contentful SDK. SDKs provide a simplified way to interact with the API, and they are supported in various languages including JavaScript, Ruby, Python, Java, .NET, and PHP. For example, to install the JavaScript SDK using npm, you would use the command npm install Contentful, or using yarn, you would use yarn at Contentful. For installation instructions for other languages, refer to the official Contentful documentation. Let's explore some basic API calls. The core operation here is retrieving content entries. To start, you'll need to initialize the client, and here's how you do it in JavaScript. First, require the Contentful module, then create a client instance using your space ID and delivery API token. To retrieve a single entry, use the getEntry method with the entry ID. This will return a promise containing the entry data, which you can then log to the console or handle as needed. Also include a catch to handle any potential errors. To retrieve multiple entries, use the getEntries method. This returns a promise with an array of entries. You can then iterate through the array and process each entry individually, again including error handling. Moving on to querying content, you can refine your results using query parameters. You can filter by content type by specifying the content_type parameter with a content type ID. For instance, you can filter for blog posts. You can also filter by specific field values using the fields.fieldName operator syntax. For example, to find blog posts with a title that partially matches Contentful, you'd use the match operator. Common operators include equals, not, and, exists, lt, gt, and match. To sort entries, use the order parameter. You can sort by field value, such as creation date. To get the newest entries first, you can use sys.createdAt. Finally, you can limit the number of entries returned and skip a certain number of entries using the limit and skip parameters. For example, you can limit the results to 10 entries and skip the first 20 to get the third page of results, assuming 10 items per page. ETs look at working with assets like images and files. Assets represent media files, and retrieving them is similar to retrieving entries using getAsset and getAssets methods. To retrieve a single asset, use getAsset with the asset ID. This returns a promise containing the asset data, including the URL of the asset file. Don't forget error handling. Key asset fields include file.url for the URL of the file, file.filename for the name of the file, and file.contenttype for the file type. Finally, let's consider some content modeling considerations. Plan your content types strategically. Use references to link related content, and consider using the CMA for dynamic content updates. In conclusion, the Contentful API empowers you to deliver content to various platforms, so experiment with different queries and configurations. Refer to the official Contentful documentation for comprehensive details, and take the next step to start building your content-driven application. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Helper Dad.